Hello, guys. This is Avcoor, and I want to talk about how to maximize your resources and some tips to get you ahead of the competition. This game is really weird in the fact that you can move resources in so many different areas, and there's so many different things to buy, which makes it interesting that you can always progress and grow. That's interesting. And I'll give you an example of why that is. If you look at water ranking and you look at my Shield of Partha, she's 24. And there is actually someone who has a stronger Shield of Partha than me, and it's from Black Sky. But when you look at Black Sky's Shield of Partha, she is actually 10 star, and when you look at my Shield of Partha, she's actually 11 star. But we look at it more in depth. There's a reason why his Shield of Partha is stronger than mine. First of all, he has 3 pieces of legendary gear, and he also has the tome, the recent equipment enhancement on her. And this is actually the rarer one, which gives you a whole bunch of stats, which really makes you strong. So as you can tell that his Shield of Partha is much stronger than mine. But when you look at overall power, there's a huge gap in power. So excuse me. It's one of the things that makes this game interesting, that you can actually have a stronger character than another person and still have differences in power and ability. And this kind of makes me jealous, but I'm gonna have a 9 star Fury of Destruction soon. Yeah, you can tell by his advanced runing. I'll talk about why this is not a really good idea to even have that. But anyway, there's a way in order for you to get strong. If you look at my power, I'm number 6 on in my server. I'm number 6. But when you look at cross server, I'm number 8. So there are ways get in order to get power and to be consistent in growing that said power. The most important way for you to grow your power is by your level. Your level actually determines a lot in this game. Your overall basic level of your account is important, as it allows you to get access to more content. So your adventure rate is important. I advise you to level this one up just as much as you level up your character's level. I think these are the two basic cornerstones of you increasing your strength. Let's go into why it's important to increase the strength of your characters. First of all, these are the characters that actually get you through content. They actually beat levels. They actually fast play levels, and that's based on pure power. Some of this content that you will engage in is purely based on um, power. And if you have higher power, that means you get access to more stuff. And if you get access to more stuff, you're that much quicker to growing stronger. So my first tip in this game is to level up your characters and to level up your account level. With that, you're able to clear challenges and you're able to get more stuff. You're able to beat things and get more stuff because you need to get stuff, and that's the way to do it. You got to level these guys up. And in order to level them up, you actually have to increase their star level. This is the second tip. Increasing the star level of your characters is so important. In fact, if you look at all the top players on this server, they're at 12 or 11 stars on their characters. There's not one of these guys that sit above me that has like a 9 star character in their main roster. Not one. And that's because the higher your are, the higher the level of your skills are. That means your units are stronger. So you have to increase your stars, and when you increase your level, you increase your stars. So this is very important. I just wish people would realize that even though like my characters, I would say are not the best because I have better characters that are being built as of now. But it was better for me in order to level up the characters that I had access to, that I accidentally rolled and got their cards because I accidentally rolled and got Endless Storm and Dragon Princess and Shield of Partha. I didn't like choose them so to speak. I just got them randomly and I worked with what I had and it took me far. So another tip 3 is to use what you have. Even though you don't have the best characters, if you get a lot of cards of one character and you move their stars up, just keep going with that character because those are resources that you didn't really have to spend in order to get. If you didn't exhaust resources, you might as well put a little bit of resources into them in order to move them up. And that's what happened with Shield of Partha. Not so much with Celestial Spear, but Endless Storm and Dragon Princess. Merlin and Celestial Spear, I did spend resources to directly increase their level. But the thing about Merlin is you can actually get her. You can actually get her from a hero shop, which I suggest you. This is a side note. If you're looking to get Lord of Time, she's easy to get because not only you can spend resources to get her cards, but you can also buy her here. I've been working on this is the second character I've been working on, Anubis, but that's later. The fourth tip I would actually say is use quick battle as much as you can because your overall level of your account means that whenever you get this guy, whenever he get you collect stuff, it increases the power of your idol. So the like when you're away from the keyboard, your level is doing the work for you. This level is doing the work for you. So the higher your level is, the more stuff you can collect and the faster you are to progressing. So I suggest if whenever you put diamonds into something, it should be your level. It should be quick battle. Quick battle is very important. So now you increase your star level, you increase your levels. So what's the next place you should actually allocate resources to? Where should you put your resources at? I wouldn't say goddess altar if you're starting out. What I will say is if you're gonna put resources into something, it should be your equipment. Your equipment should be next. Your equipment actually increases your stats for your heroes, which allows you to clear content. So when you look at my equipment, it's somewhat mediocre because I've been stretching it out because I do some other content where you have to have like teams of 3 and 4 and 5. So like you'll see her and like up my life force will make the world she actually has this equipment, but I don't use her as much. But I kind of need her in order to clear content because they require teams. And in order to do the equipment quest, you need like 2 teams of 5. So that's why I do it. But equipment is important because of that same fact that I just talked about. You need your characters to be as strong as possible, and that's like one of the most immediate ways, besides leveling up, besides your idol, that you can increase the power of your characters. So this is extremely important. There's so many ways to increase the power of your characters, but the most basic ways are the most important. And equipment, level, and idol in your account level, which is basically influences your idol, is important. So I think the last thing I will talk about when it comes to directly increasing your stats, besides equipment, besides your level, will actually be Starlight Temple. The goddess is important, but you actually get access to this first. The power of the stars is one of the quickest beginner ways in order to increase your power, because all you have to do is go to the Dragonspire Tower, and the different elemental towers will actually give you access to the cubes that will increase the power of a certain element of character. It's very important that you do that, because for one, and it's permanent. It influences the elemental strengths of all those characters in that element. So you will basically start at green, blue, and red. But later on, light and dark become more important as your teams kind of shift over to that. But most of us aren't there yet, so it's not a really big concern. And another side note is guild. I guess guild and tower are just as important. But one trick with guild is I think you should invest more into this, because this affects the stats of all of your characters as opposed to just like using specific elements. I don't even bother with it anymore. I just wait until my guild points get up high enough that I can keep dumping it into that, because this will always affect all elements. And when you see the added bonus, it's like 8 across the board, but that 6% comes from this, because this only gives you 2%. So it shows you the importance of the all elemental bonus. I think this is the most important bonuses. I just did this because I was just starting out and I didn't know any better, but it's okay. I'm just gonna keep dumping resources into this and probably max it out. There's no reason for me to really like mess with the elements anymore, because this will actually just benefit me across the board, and that's what you're trying to look for, is the across the board benefits as opposed to the specific benefits, because at this stage of the game, even as you can see with me, I only have like two characters like at 11 star in water. I only have like one 12-star character in fire. I only have like one 12-star character in wind and one 11-star character. The resources that are required to build characters are so hard that you have to find ways to get general growth as opposed to specific growth. General growth is better than specific growth because it just influences more of your account as opposed to just one element. Because I'm not getting the most out of like wind cubes if I only have like two characters. I'm certainly not getting the most out of like red cubes if I only have like one good fire character. And same with dark, which I have really no good dark characters. In light, I have like a couple potential, but not really that much. So keep that in mind when you're building your account, that it's not always about what is best, is what you have access to. Just use what you have and think about what you're trying to go for. Start at the basics. Start at your level, your stars, and your idol level, and that'll carry you to the end. Well, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button, because I'll make more content like this, because I see people struggling and quitting the game because they're just not allocating their resources in the right place. But once you do that, it's a really fun game to play. Hit me up, give me some likes. Laters.